Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Monday, June 18th. Happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there. So I wanted to come and discuss Monday mornings and taking risks for your success. And how am I going to bridge those two ideas together? Well, first is Monday morning. And you know what's really interesting, and I'm sure you can relate to this. I've heard a lot of people say things like they hate Mondays or they can't stand their jobs. You know, Friday comes, they're excited because it's the weekend. Monday comes and they are stressed out because they have to go to work. And I've always been of the mindset that Mondays are awesome. Like, I love Mondays. And I had to step back and ask, well, why do I love Mondays? Like, I don't complain that it's Monday. Monday is a good day to me. And I realized for the last 12, 13 years, I've consulted. I have not worked for someone else per se. I've consulted out my skills and my knowledge in order to have more control over how I want to use my skills and who I want to work for. I posted recently that, you know, I'm 100% going to start working for my business, Read Ready Life Coaching, after June 29th. Whereas I will do much more coaching and coach training over the consulting part of my business. But I've always been happy over the last 10 years because I've predominantly worked for myself, or at least had more control over how I wanted to use my skills, my knowledge, and who I wanted to work for. And if you're coming to the Womb event, I'm definitely going to be discussing this matter in great detail because I think it's important. So much so that, you know, I listen to a lot of Dharma conversations, and I'm going to tie it all together. I listen to a lot of Dharma conversations. I listen to a lot of gurus. And a question I've heard a lot of gurus try to answer, and a lot of people ask, is that how can I stop my fears from interfering with my success? How can I stop being afraid? How can I achieve my goals and not worry so much about being scared of what's going to happen? How do I control that? And you know what's funny? I've yet to hear a guru answer that question. I've yet to hear a Dharma talk really say, this is what you need to do. So at the Womb event, I'm actually going to address that question. I'm going to literally tell you the answer to that question. So if you do come, you will get an answer. I'm not proclaiming to be a guru in any way. I'm not giving you some supernatural answer. I'm going to give you a true answer on how do you overcome your fear of failure, your fear of success, because there are two. And I've talked about that in the past, being afraid of failure, but being afraid of success also. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll actually see that video. But come to the Womb event, and I'm going to answer that question for you. But just here right now, just to give you a little glimpse, that answer really does exist. And I can tell you from my own life, you know, I used to, you know, 13 years ago, before I started consulting, I was afraid. You know, I was always worried about yearly reviews. You know how that go, yearly reviews, where you know, you do your best through the year, but then they tell you during comp time or review time, well, you didn't quite meet the mark. So, you know, we're not going to give you the full raise. We'll give you 1%. We'll give you 2%, but you can't get the 5% or you can't get the 10% because you didn't do something, or you were absent too many days, or, you know, you weren't a team player, you know, and you're in your head going, well, no, nobody told me I was falling short. All of a sudden now I'm falling short. Or you bust your hump every day and you don't get enough support from managers, or you don't get enough support from colleagues, like all that drama, or office politics, or a meeting before the meeting to have a meeting, all that stuff. And seriously, it used to drive me nuts. It just drove me nuts. And I was always afraid of, what do I do? What do I do with this? I have to make money. I have to pay my mortgage. I have to put food on the table. I have to work with my husband to make sure we have enough income in our household. What do I do? But I knew I didn't like the office politics. I knew that I was good at what I did, and it was very frustrating and infuriating to have someone tell me, a year later, well, you didn't do as well as you could have, so we're not going to give you a raise, or we're only going to give you 2%, or we're only going to give you 1%. And you look at your colleagues and you're like, well, gee, I definitely contributed more and I have documentation, but So one day I decided to take a risk. One day I looked at things, I said, you know what? I know I'm good at what I do. I know I'm a contributor. I know I'm a mom and I want to put family first. I know there's certain things that I need for me to make my Mondays great, as well as the rest of my week great. And so I decided to start consulting, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I decided to choose what company I want to work for, what salary I want to work for. It became my mission to say, okay, how do I control where I go and who I do it for? And it was the best decision I made. And I didn't have a whole bunch of money set up. I didn't know if it was going to fail or succeed. I just knew I had a desire to do something differently. And I'm a big proponent of, if you want change, you have to do something differently. You can't keep doing the same thing. So that goes into that answer of taking risks and being able to look at things and go, what do you really want? And some people don't know how to identify what they want, and some people are afraid of things not working out. But I'm like, you should really be more focused on what if it does. There was something that Dr. Dwayne Dwyer used to say all the time. He's another person I used to love to listen to. He used to say that you have a 50-50 chance of good or bad happening. It doesn't matter. So why do we always focus on the bad? Why don't we focus on the good? And that was something that really resonated with me. Yeah, crap can happen and things don't always work out, but if you plan accordingly, if you know what you want and you focus on the positive, if you focus on the success that's possible, the negative isn't as concerning. This does not mean that you be unmindful. Now, as you know, I'm a mindfulness coach, and I believe in being mindful. I believe in thinking about what you really want to do. But what I am saying is that sometimes you do have to take a risk. Sometimes you got to cash it all in. Sometimes you got to say, I'm going to do these things in order to create this result. And you can't be afraid. And even the worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, there's always a plan or a path that will save you. It's always there if you know how to look for it, if you know how to tap into it. I am a living example, and I know a lot of people, a lot of my clients are examples of that. And one of the things I highly stress is we have to learn how to work through our fears. We cannot be so afraid of what will happen, because at the end of the day, there's always a chance of something happening. But the question is, what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it? Are you going to just sit there and go, gee, I'm worried? This might fail. This is going to be painful. This is going to be uncomfortable. And I tell a lot of my clients, sometimes you have to live with the discomfort. If you can live with the discomfort and move past it, there is a great opportunities on the other end of that fence. So if you come to the Womb event, you're going to get the clear answer about taking risks. You're going to get that path of how to move beyond your fears and get to that positive opportunity that you're looking for. So I hope you attend the event, but if you don't, I am here to tell you that success is on the other side of that fence. What you want is on the other side of that fence. If you can be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And if you are willing to take a risk for yourself, you will find those opportunities that you're looking for. I'm here to tell you, it's there. And for some of us, it might be a couple of years. For some of us, it might be quicker. Everybody's path is different. But what I am telling you is that your opportunity is there. And the answer to getting over fears are there. And I look forward to sharing that information with you if you really want the answer to that question, because I am going to answer that question where no one else has answered it for you. So, have an awesome day. Enjoy your Monday, because I love my Monday. I'm going right now to my client, and I am going to go and do what I love doing and come home and do the rest of what I love doing. And I've been doing that for the last 10, 12, 13 years. And I love it, love it, love it. And I want you to love your Mondays too. So I hope you have a great Monday. Create awesomeness. Create your vision of what you want your life to be, because you can. And I'm here to tell you that you will, if that's what you focus on. Have an awesome Monday, everybody.